Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol and welcome to Cycle Sunday. Now then, hopefully by now you have been tuning in regularly at 6 o'clock on a Sunday to see the progress of my dream bike build. And a couple of weeks ago, we did the full bike fit. And as part of that video, we talked about fitting your cleats to your shoes. And I've had quite a few people reach out and say, can you show us the detail of that? Now, when I was here with Paul filming that, we actually did film the full process, but it was quite a long process and we couldn't fit it into the video. But I thought I'd like to share that with you, especially as quite a few of you have asked. So, how is it that I actually got my lovely Bontrager shoes fitted with the cleat in the right position? So let's head back over in time, back to Criterium Cycles when I was here with Paul earlier on in the year and watch the cleat fit process.
Right, Peter, so what we've done here is we've got your shoes and we've already just pre-installed your cleats onto the bottom.
Yep.
And what we now need to do is we need to orientate those cleats to ensure that they work for your natural foot gait and your arch length.
Okay.
So first thing that I need you to do is put the shoes on.
Don't get to put my new shoes on.
Yes. I like your socks, by the way.
They're very cool, aren't they? They're on brand.
They're on brand.
Yes.
So absolutely perfect. Make sure that the tongue is nicely flat.
Yeah.
Again, we see the amount of people who have the tongue outside like so and still tighten it down.
Yeah.
So you've done absolutely right. Make sure your socks are pulled up nicely.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then
push down onto the ratchet and then tighten up until it's taken all the slack. Perfect. That's wonderful. Excellent.
And that one as well, or?
No, that's good. All that the toe strap's doing is that just wants to have the slack just taken up as you've done that.
Okay.
Amazing.
It looks so good to me.
Peter, I cannot tell you just how good they look.
I love those ratchets.
Yeah.
Because I've got this kind of almost like the snow boot ones.
Yeah.
Which are great for fitting once, but like you said before, you can't. They're a nightmare you've got to get off the bike.
Yes.
Adjust them and then pull them back on again.
Correct. And the other thing that you'll notice as well is the number of clicks.
Yeah.
So if you take your buckle ratchet systems, they're quite big gaps.
Yeah.
Whereas that's a much more finite adjustment. In addition to that, when you're wearing toe covers and shoe covers in general, because they're a lot more low profile, they work better than the sort of bulky ratchets. So they're a great system.
Cool.
Right, so the first thing that we need to do now is find the centre of your first metatarsal head.
Of course.
Which you knew what to do.
Yeah.
So imagine my hand at the moment is your foot.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of the camera. So your metatarsal head is effectively the joint, that is here. You always measure you always number from the inside out. Mm-hmm. Number 1 metatarsal head, number 5 metatarsal head. And then the other thing to bear in mind is the main nerve centre. So again, if you put your finger up into your hand, that feels really sore.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we are ensuring that the first metatarsal head, the centre line of the first metatarsal head, which we can feel just here.
Yeah. I like to call that my gout metatarsal.
Can I just say, you've got amazing mets. They're just fantastic. From a fitter's perspective...
That's because they've got gout.
From a fitter's perspective, you've got wonderful metatarsals.
I never thought I'd hear that said. Fantastic.
Absolutely. So the fundamental thing is that I'm just feeling for that first metatarsal head, which is there. Now, because nobody likes a marker pen on their brand new shoes.
No. Excellent.
A little bit of masking tape.
Good. I was going to say, don't put permanent marker
on
on
my shoes.
Although X nearly marks the spot.
Do you know? It's not far off.
It's pretty good.
Excellent. Right. So we just want to place a little bit of masking tape over the top here. We're going to take the marker pen. I'm going to feel for the metatarsal head, we're going to get to the centre line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're going to get to the, I'm going to feel for the first metatarsal head, we get to the centre point, and then we're just literally going to mark a line down the centre there.
Yeah.
Okay? And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Okie doke.
Cool.
So now I just need you to take your shoes off.
Cool. So I just
pull those out and then just slide your feet out.
Blimey, throw them out here already.
Absolutely great. Perfect. So what we're now going to do is we're going to make sure that your metatarsal heads are actually equal left to right. So that we want to just ensure that, that your cleat position is set up correctly.
Yeah.
So if we just join the heels together and the cleats together and we look down, we can see that your met heads are absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
Now from a fitter's perspective, that really makes my life so much better.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't have to make discrepancies between different cleat positions from the fore and aft. We're then going to take a ruler and we're going to measure between 8 and 10 millimetres. I start off with 8, and then if a customer then comes back and says, well, after a few hours I'm starting to get a little bit of numbness or hot spots or cold spots in the feet, we can then just nudge them back a little bit further.
Yeah.
But from the centre line of the metatarsal head, we're just literally measuring 8 millimetres further back and making another mark. Like so.
Yeah.
And that is now the centre position for the marker that's on the cleat itself. So on a Shimano cleat, there's a little notch in the cleat itself. That's the marker here. Look, it's actually slightly easier to find. So it's just that little marker there, and we're wanting to make sure that that marker, its fore and aft movement of the cleat, we want to make sure that marker lines up with the second line.
The things you never knew.
The things you never knew. Now, if we say that the marker is now lined up, I want to just double check that. Let's just have a look forward. So the marker is now lined up with the second line. There is ultimately 3 movements to a cleat to work with somebody's foot.
Yeah.
We have the fore and aft position.
Yeah.
We have a lateral movement, like so.
Yeah.
And we also have a rotational movement as well.
Yeah.
So we can rotate.
So that way,
lateral,
that way, or
and
that way.
fore and aft.
Yeah.
So that's the full positioning of a cleat system. The fore and aft is taken with the marker in the centre line, but then the rotational movement is based on your natural foot gait, and we're going to demonstrate that just now.
Okay.
So what I'd like you to do, Peter, I'd like you to just stand up for me, okay? And I'd like you to just march up and down on the spot, and I want you to just stand in your natural foot gait. Brilliant. So can you see, if you look down, you can see that your feet are not pointing straight ahead.
Yeah.
Your right hand foot has got a little bit of toe out, and your left hand foot has got a little bit of toe out.
Yeah.
And the left hand foot has got slightly more toe out than the right hand.
Yeah, gammy left foot.
Gammy left foot. It's not a problem, that is just your natural body position. Now, if you just did what a lot of people do and just set your cleats up with the cleats just straight ahead, what it's going to do is it's going to basically put a twist to the knee.
So I'd end up with my feet like that.
End up with your feet like that, but can you now feel it in your knee?
You can, yeah.
Now unload your feet again, so they're in the natural foot gait.
Yeah.
Can you feel it so much more comfortable in your knee? Right. That's what we need to do with your cleats. So what we're going to do, Peter, is I'm going to finish setting up the cleat position and lock those cleats down based on your natural foot gait.
Yeah.
And we're going to validate that when we get onto the turbo.
Okay.
And how we're going to validate it is I'm going to take you around all 4 quadrants of the pedal rotation and ensure that with you naturally in your natural foot gait, with your knee tracking straight ahead, I will be able to feel that there is free float absolutely to either side.
Yep.
That you're not locked up against the inside float stop or locked up against the outside float stop. It just feels almost like your pedals are broken.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for, because that is you naturally in the middle of your float.
Okay.
That is how important it is to get the cleats not only set up for its fore and aft position, lateral position and rotational position.
Wow.
Let's get that done, and the next time we're going to see you is on the jig.
On the bike.
Absolutely.
Wicked.
Perfect.
So there you go. Super interesting process, because I, like I'm sure many of you, the first time I ever decided I was going to clip myself into my road bike and bought a set of pedals. And then I got the cleats and the shoes, and you kind of fitted them. And I know I joked about it in the video, but I honestly did kind of hold the shoe up and place the cleat and do it by eye. But the thing that I've noticed when I really look at these is if you actually have a look, if I hold the shoe up vertically, which I would have done, I would have put the bottom of the cleat horizontally thinking that was right. And it's just not. That's actually quite off at an angle now. And what that would have meant is I'm basically putting different strains and stresses through my knee in particular, and on a longer ride that would have caused potentially pain and actually longer term the potential for injuring my knee. So yeah, really super interesting process. I hope you found that useful. As I said, we filmed that content and then we weren't actually planning to put it out at all, but many of you requested to see it, so I hope you found it useful. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that one. Make sure you like, share and subscribe to this video. I'll put all of Criterium Cycles details in the description below. Follow them on social. They've got a really nice email newsletter that you can subscribe to. But I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, guys, ride safe.